Hi, everybody.
Sup.
SUP.
See if anybody shows up. We have got a bunch of little things going on today. And I know that Reggie is live streaming. So sorry, Reggie, if we're jumping in on your crowd a little bit. Hopefully not too much crossover. I think you definitely will have most everybody in there. But I thought I would jump online and get this out of the way while we have the time this morning. The girls and I are going on a trip. So we are packing up some things. My cousin's getting married up in wine country, California. So we're putting some things together. Yep. Old Wolf is in the car. We're going to be in the car this afternoon.
You're first, Old Wolf.
He was first in the chat.
Actually, technically you were, but okay.
Oh, goodness.
First actual person.
I'm not an actual person.
No. Because you're the channel.
Oh, gotcha. Enjoy the wedding. We will. My cousin, is much younger than I, and so it's kind of exciting to see her get to that space. Oh, Charlie. Hello, Nerdvana. I almost said Nirvana. So what we have here is a little bit of a comic haul. I bought a bunch of books today as well as the last few weeks. I have a gift from Dee Runk Comics, and if you can hear it, there is a garbage truck coming by right now. Perfect timing. So we got a little bit of everything. I'm releasing the brake. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with this gift from Dee Runk Comics. I'll tell you, I was super excited to get one of these boxes. This is what he delivered it in, and I told him, like, everybody has these behind them, but I'm not the kind of person that orders from the Spider-Man booth. I generally feel like the Spider-Man booth is a lot of variants, and I'm not a huge variant purchaser, although you'll see that I bought a pretty big variant today. I'm not usually a big variant person, so I don't order from them, but I dig the box, man. I wanted one of these. So he packed it all up for us inside of here when I met George just this yesterday. The day before yesterday.
Ordinary life is no longer
an option. This is an amazing fantasy. So he packed it all in here. It's all for the girls except the bottom two books are for me. So if you don't know who George is, Dee Runk Comics, I put the link in the description for this video, and he was out in San Diego for an event, and we met up and we hit a couple of mediocre comic shops because the one I really wanted to go to, I didn't realize was closed on a Monday, so we couldn't cruise in there. But he hand delivered this to the girls and I, and we're going to open that first. All right, ready? Look right there. You can say it's right on top. This is totally Dee Runk Comics. He is a big fan of these events. Are you ready? It's part 1 and 2, I think, of Spider-Man and Batman, the DC Marvel crossover event. I don't know if this was 2 different event series. So this looks like the Bagley one. This one might not be the Bagley one. This might be later on.
I think Kate's gonna read that one.
Kate is very excited to read these. Look, she's like, give. Oh, look, what's the next one, Charlie?
Oh, I can't see.
Hulk versus Superman. That is killer.
Next is who? I can't see.
Batman versus Punisher. This was a different Batman. This is a different Batman. This was a Batman when Batman was out of commission. Someone took over for him. Perry Comics is in the room. TJ says, I made him jump from Reggie. Oh, that is very nice of you, sir. I appreciate that. So Punisher and Batman. We've got the Spider-Boy team up.
What?
Right? So this is Amalgam Comics. I was trying to explain Amalgam Comics to the girls, right? This is when they mix and match. So it looks like a little bit of a Superboy Spider-Man mix-up, but it also looks like the Teen Titans, if you look. You've got a whole Teen Titans thing. Caleb, the comic Smurf, is in the chat. And Collectible Paper is in the chat. Hello. No. Oh, and here's another one. Who does this remind you of?
Captain America and Superman together.
Right. This is Super Soldier Man of War.
I didn't even notice
Amalgam
the shield.
Comics. What about this
I
one?
wasn't sure.
What does this look like?
Storm and Wonder. I'm trying to never.
Storm and Wonder Woman, the two best
Here, look at
ladies
these.
in
So pretty.
comics, in my
I
opinion.
Look at these.
Dad, can I read that one first?
I know, you can check them all out. We're gonna go through another mashup with DC and Marvel. We've got Superman and Silver Surfer. That's pretty killer. Oh, this is one I've wanted to read for a long time. Look at this cover. Walt Simonson just killed this. Teen Titans and the Uncanny X-Men. Look, you've even got
Thanatos.
Phoenix is in the background.
Thanatos!
Stopping by to say hi to Charlie and Kate.
Hello.
And Nerd alert. I'm ready for you anytime you want, Thanatos. Yeah, man, we got a plan. I've been researching. I'm Tolkien ready, brother. But this I'm definitely reading soon. I want to read this, so the girls will get a shot at that. Ooh, I think I have a copy of this, but girls need one. This is Stan Lee, if he imagined what Superman would be like. It's his version of Superman.
Huh.
So Stan Lee did a bunch of these. He did Stan Lee's Aquaman, Stan Lee's Wonder Woman, Stan Lee's Batman. They're all slightly different. Oh, and I even told you about this one, Dark Claw. See how it's like a Wolverine Batman mashup. There he is, Dark Claw.
What's the next one?
Yeah, the mashups from Amalgam Comics are classic. These last two, I can tell when I'm at the ones for me. Definitely for me.
Okay, we'll go.
First, we're going to finish. Gotta have Savage Dragon and the Megaton Man. This was like an early image version of Savage Dragon. And I have one of these, but it's not nearly as nice and sharp as this one.
Daddy?
That's a great cover. It's got all the shiny goodness on it. So awesome. Oh, and then I finally got Action 1000, but it's a signed cover. Looks like Dan Jurgens, maybe?
Oh my gosh, Kate, that's Spider-Man.
That is cool.
Good boy.
So I don't know if that looks like Dan Jurgens' signature to all of y'all. I can't tell. That is cool. Thanos says we need Willpower Unleashed. I agree. We definitely need Willpower Unleashed. Absolutely.
Comic Books NYC. Hello.
Oh, hey, Kami's in the chat. So I'm not sure if this is, but it looks like Dan Jurgens to me. Signed, often COA on the back. Look at that. So it's my first copy of Action 1000, and I'm not going to open it to read it. I'm just going to leave it sealed in the bag. So this all came from Dee Runk Comics. For those of you that just joined, I met up with him, hung out with some members of the comic community over the last week, and George and I were hanging on Monday with the girls. And his wife, Kelly, really awesome lady. And if you want to see more from his channel, it's linked down below in this description. He's a really, really friendly, cool guy. So, DeeRunk, thank you for all of this. I know he's probably flying home or getting over the subtle jet lag. That is killer, though. This Savage Dragon, right up my alley. And I'm so pumped to have a Spider-Man box. Just the box. That's all I needed. All right.
Daddy, which one goes first?
I'm not sure which one goes first. I don't know that it matters.
Sam's here.
Sam's Tangled Web would know. Sam, is this dark cover the first one chronologically, or is this bright cover the first one chronologically? I think it's this one with the Bagley cover. I think this one came first. Collectible Paper says DeeRunk lives near him. Oh, that's cool. He was staying in San Diego, right next to the San Diego Comic Convention, but he wasn't going to that. He had an event he was doing. I don't know if Sam knows which one goes first, but we had to ask him. I think the lighter Bagley cover goes first, so I'm going to bet that one. So you can go take a look. I'm going to open and share some other stuff if you want to go.
The bright cover is the first one.
Yes.
Thank you, Sam.
You can count on Sam. The guy knows everything. All right, so I got a few more things to share. Let's slide over a little bit now that the girls are going to read. They're like, oh. He says that Bagley one is the best one. Nice to know. Happy New Comic Book Day to you, Perry. He had a great show with Rod yesterday and Edwin, the comic triple threat. If you guys don't know this channel, Rod the Rican, Just a Rican and his comics. Every Tuesday, they do one of my all-time favorite weekly shows, breaking down what's coming out. They're using the OBS. They're rocking it. Perry's doing a great job on his channel anyways, but this triple threat is phenomenal. And yes, Sam, they know a few things because they read a few things just like you. And it was a hysterical show. At the end, I even jumped in for a couple of minutes. Very funny. It's, yeah, a great show. All right, so this stack is what I gathered over this last week and a half. I've been hanging out with a couple of community members like Tank Collects and the Oblivion Bar. And these guys were hanging out in my sort of area. And I bought some things with them, and I bought some things when I was hanging with DeeRunk. I'll do the stuff I bought when I was with DeeRunk. I got a copy of Second Coming, which I hear is really funny. And I was definitely hearing that I got to check this out. I think Edwin was telling me. I think Tank Collects is telling me I should read this, that it's going to be real funny. So I snagged that. That's going to go in my reading pile. Where's my reading pile? Bum, 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 bum. Charlie, do you have that, the Superman, Hulk, and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Definitely going to add that. I'm going to start a reading pile right here because I'm going to take books to read on my trip. I also grabbed a copy of Reaver, which I missed, and I saw that for cover price. So I snagged one of those, and Perry was saying this is a great read. I know lots of people telling me to read that, so that's going in the reading pile. And then this was a Reggie Collects buy, the Iceman 4-issue miniseries, which I heard is a pretty good read, but also the first appearance of this god character, the Oblivion, sort of a cosmic deity. And I hear that it's a good first appearance. It's cheap to buy, and they had sorry, I'm out of focus. They had a full set for sale at one of the comic shops that I hit up. So I definitely had to grab that. Sorry, I got to keep my stuff organized a little bit here. I did not buy any of the X Liefelds. I'm trying to stay away from it if I can avoid it. Oh, my phone is buzzing. I'm going to have to call later, reply later. So I have not grabbed X Liefelds. I'm staying away from that as best I can. I snagged this when I was out hunting with, before I met up with Tank Collects. This is Descender, issue number 1, first print, signed by Dustin Nguyen right there across the black in the bottom. Really cool signature. I have the first 2 trades, and I've been reading and really enjoying it. And I saw this for $10 on the shelf. And I thought, you know what? It's in great shape. It's got a cool signature. I'm in. So I bought that book. And then the rest were trades that I purchased. I'm trying to try out Valiant Comics. So I was talking with the gentleman there, and he said, don't go with the old 90s. Try some of the newer stuff. It's really good. So I got the first issue of Harbinger, I guess is how you probably say it. Harbinger, which I hear is a really, really great comic. Spending on big books. I did. I spent a little bit too much today, and I'll get to that pile next. And I also got Divinity issue 1, which is like a sort of an event storyline through Valiant. And I don't read a lot of Valiant before, so I'm trying some new things. I kind of feel like it's good every once in a while to try something. You never know. I'm going to put Harbinger in my reading pile over here. I'm going to hold off on Divinity. I also replaced my copy of Born Again. I sent mine to Fire Guy Ryan as a gift. And I was like, I need to have one just to read. I know I've got Marvel Unlimited, but I like to own the trades. I was a trade guy, a reader first and foremost. All right. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's all right. People are on their way to buy their books, ignoring their phone. Yeah, well, you know, I do feel a little guilty, but I'll call that. I have a big stack today. I don't usually buy that many books. I think an average week at the comic shop on a Wednesday is a $15, at the most $30 day. $30 is a big day. But I knew that this was going to be a bigger than usual day because not only did I have a lot of books to buy, but I knew I had one variant in particular I wanted that was going to run me a little penny. So I'm going to start with the other books. I had to get the Jenny Frison Faithless cover. Already bagged and boarded it. I'm not going to open it. I'm sure somebody will open theirs and send me a message on Instagram so that I can see what Jenny Frison did. But I've got one of those. Going to add that to the collection. Had to get that. Sam's got some trades and hardbacks. I think I don't own a single omnibus yet, but I do like to own trades. I like to be able to read them. And if it's something I really love, I like to have a hardcover to really just read it over and over again. I bought this to try out Loki #1. And I hear that Jason, Comics Misexplained, that I should read this for tonight. So this is going to go to the top of my reading pile. No, I will not show the girls that one collectible paper. I've got a few like that. I snagged this because I want to read this, and issue 2 has the Art Germ cover in color, and I want to read that Art Germ cover, or read that one and see the Art Germ cover. So this is going to go in the not for the kids, but I want to read it pile as well. But I might save that until I get issue 2 and read both together. Sam's got the Fantastic Four omnibuses. I'm going to buy the Immortal Hulk when they release that in a sort of collected edition, because they're finishing at issue 25, and they might have an omnibus with all of it in it, or they might have 2 omnibuy, and I might go with that. That might be my first official omnibus. I've considered doing the Frank Miller Daredevil omnibus sets. You know, they're just super expensive, and I'm back and forth on that one. Just a Rican is in the chat. Hello, brother. I'm running through my pickups for today. I did Loki, Vampirella, and Faithless. Those are the first 3 I got today. Forgot which Vampirella covers. There's so many good ones. I went and looked at all of them. I love the Frank Cho. It's like a wraparound. It goes on the backside as well. But something about this is a Ross cover, I think. It's cover 2, cover B. I just dug the Ross cover, and I think it'll look good with the Art Germ cover, so I'll try both together. The Rican is in the chat. Let's see here. Rod, it's perfect timing because I got this. The new issue of Daredevil, definitely going in my reading pile. Sorry, the glare on that is bad. I'm waiting for, is it Chiquetto, the artist, to come back and work on Daredevil again. When this story is done, I hear he's coming back. That's definitely reading pile right there. I know that Jason's not pumped I got this one, but I'm going to give this. I really wanted the Bane story to come to an end. That was the story I liked the most from King. And I just hope it's all just blank optimism, I guess. I'm hopeful for this. So I'm going to read this one. And if it's an absolute failure, then I'm done. I'm just hopeful that it's not. I'm hopeful that he just finishes strong and that everybody gets that bad taste out of their mouth. But we shall see. Sorry, I got a sticker on that. I don't old sticker there. So I'll put that in the reading pile. I do need to read it. Got to read that one for sure. I snagged 2 copies of the final issue for Little Bird. It's a great series. I think I have almost 2 of every issue. So I have a set to read, a set to keep, maybe a set to sell if I want to sell one of those the reader set. But great storyline, and I do need to read it. I'm going to put it here with the pile. I don't think I'm going to take that one on my trip. The book for book club tonight is Jimmy Olsen. We're going to hang with Perry Comics, and we're going to talk about Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. So that's top of the reading pile with Loki. Those 2 go first. Got to have those ready to go. ALM is in the chat just in time for his favorite book of the week. Read Batman. It's bizarre. All the villains are policemen. All right. It's bizarre. He didn't say it's bad. He just said it's bizarre. You got that same Jimmy Olsen cover. All right. If you're missing any, I am sure White Whale can hook you up. Yeah, right. He's got several sets. 2 is usually the maximum for me. I don't usually go beyond 2 for anything. I rarely go to 2, though. So here's ALM's favorite comic. Got my Immortal Hulk. Had to do it. I'm going to go all the way. So just 4 more issues. 4 more issues, and then it's done. I'm very sad about that. Perry and TJ both have been discussing with me the final cover, which just got posted and is unbelievable. It might even be Alex Ross's best cover in the lot, which is saying something because they're all pretty amazing. So got this one. It's going in the reading pile. And then that brings me to my last book This one cost more, and I usually don't go for incentive or price variance. I usually just don't do work. I don't go for variance. Rod and I are alike on this. It's very rare that I'll even put the extra $1 in to get a nicer variant. The Art Germ Catwomen covers are one of the only ones that I'm going to probably consistently do that for until that run is done. Hello, Dave. Thank you for stopping in. I bought this cover, and it is worth it. I am already happy that I did it. There were only 2 of these at my shop. They were everybody in there. There was like 7 people that came through while I was in there. Everyone was asking for it. And I'm very happy I did it. I didn't even notice all the planets and solar system stuff inside here. I don't know how great the focus is. I bought it because not only do I like it, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end. I don't necessarily think that this one's going to drop huge in value. I'm hoping that it'll retain I think I spent $30 on it. Before I get a little discount for having a pull list at my shop, but I was fine. It was in great condition. You know, if I want to get a signature and a slab for it, I think it'd be totally worth it. If it drops down in value, I don't think it'll go to like $10. So even if I lose $10 on it, if it goes to 20, let's say, I'm still happy with where it is. Your shop gave you this for cover price? Dude, that's killer. It's a 1 in 25. So most shops just got a couple of them. Maybe you got a bigger shop. I thought 30 was a fair price. My LCS, gave me a discount on top of that for having a pull list. But I knew about this cover in advance, and I asked for it, a little over a week ago. So they pulled it aside for me, and I'm just happy that I bought it. I got a 1 in 10 cover for issue 1 that I thought was really beautiful as well. It's the one with Silver Surfer's got his board, and you can see the Fantastic Four reflected in the board. So now I've got basically 2 of the incentive variants for issues 1 and 2. So I may have to continue that trend for 3, 4, and 5. We'll see how expensive those variants get. But I liked issue 1 enough that this was not a straight cover buy. I enjoyed the read. So when all of that came together, this was a book that I was happy to get. So boom, there we are. That was my big purchase for the day, and my reading haul. I don't know that I even feel comfortable reading this. I didn't buy a reader copy. I just bought this one because my bill was already so high. So if my LCS ends up having a copy of issue 2 later on, maybe I'll buy it that way. I don't know if I'm going to read Silver Surfer Black. I might have to just leave it in the bag and worry about it later on. But my reading pile is pretty big. Let's pile it all up here. Oh, yikes. So those that don't know, Alec is hosting book club tonight. The guest is Perry Comics, and we are talking Jimmy Olsen. I love the old Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, and the old Lois Lane, where it was Kirby work. So I think it's fun that they're coming back. And I loved Rucka's Rucka did Lois Lane. And now we have the Superman pal, Jimmy Olsen by Matt Fraction, who is awesome. So I'm hopeful that this will be as good. So that's number 1 on my reading list. Number 2 is Loki by Kibblesmith. And that's going to be for the show tonight. Unlimited, Comic Core Unlimited. Starting line for Jimmy Olsen. There you go, buddy. Then I've got Immortal Hulk and Batman and Daredevil. Those are going to be on my reading list. Reaver and Second Coming. And then Harbinger, from Valiant, the first trade. So I'll get that started. Those are sort of the top of my reading list. Those are books I'm going to take with me on my travels. I might even bring some of these crossovers that DeeRunk sent along to throw in here. The X-Men Teen Titans one might be top of the list, but the Superman Silver Surfer as well. So I got a big sort of bunch of books to take with me on this trip, things to read, This better be good, John. I can't wait to read Teen Titans, Ragnarok, Usagi Yojimbo, Silver Surfer Black, Collapser. I looked at Collapser and I was like, my bill was too high already. I wasn't going to go beyond what I knew I wanted already. He got, see, what is CM number 8? CM. I don't know what CM is. Is it like an obvious one? Carnage something? I don't know. Oh, Captain Marvel. Sorry, Captain Marvel. Ooh, that was the hot one. And my LCS had a bunch of those, and I thought about it. I was like, do I do this? Do I do this? I know it's a big spec book. Yeah, big spec book. I heard Resonant is good. So I know that Captain Marvel is that big spec book. I just, I couldn't do it. I hated the first issue so much, disliked. I shouldn't say hate. It's a comic book. I disliked Captain Marvel #1 so much when this was a book we did on the comic club, the book club with Tony Sanders. And we all just were like, this was so bad. We just all started, except for Alec, we started drinking. Tony Sanders and I just started drinking. It was bad. I was so frustrated with issue 1. I was refusing to buy into the spec for issue 8. Hopefully you make your money off of it. I hear it's going to be a big hit. So hopefully you make your money off of it. You got it to sell. So, hey, yeah, exactly. I looked at it and I was like, I could buy 2 of these and try to flip them, or I could just spend that money on something I want. So I put that money into Silver Surfer Black. I put a lot of money into Silver Surfer Black. All right. Okay. I am going to log out. I'm going to get some reading done, get some packing done. I'm going to be traveling. So when you see me on book club and you see me on Comic Core Unlimited, I'm going to be via cell phone. So I will be hopefully fine. And I've got no Wi-Fi. So hopefully the area I'm in isn't too spotty like it was driving home last time for the book club. Yes, buy what you like. I agree. It's a rule to live by, but at the same time, I'm not bothered by anybody that digs spec. I know it's a lot of fun. I know Reggie just mentioned on his shows, he thinks spec is a lot of fun. As long as your attitude isn't, I'm going to be a millionaire. If your attitude is, ooh, this could be a fun one. Let's see if this one spikes. If it doesn't spike, if you're okay with that, I think it's the people that really want to make a huge deal out of it it kind of ruins it. But spec can be a lot of fun. John will be mobile. He's going, yeah, I'm going to rush it. I'm going to rush Area 51. Just do it. Worth it, John. That's a nice looking book. I agree. I'm happy with the purchase. I texted a few people on Instagram to say, what do you think? $30 for this book. And most everybody either said, do it. It's a good price. Or they said, do it if you're going to be happy about it. And I kept looking at the cover and I was like, I'm going to be totally happy with it. And now seeing it in person, I'm 100% sure it was the best decision, even if it loses value, which I don't think it will. I think it's one of those like a Sienkiewicz cover that's so minimalist. It's so minimalist that I think it's going to retain value just from being cool, like a Sienkiewicz cover or something. You know, it's not Sienkiewicz, but it feels like his Moon Knight kind of stuff, you know, and I dig it. I fully dig it. Hydra's made something funny. Go to Area 51, human, leave a symbiote host. Spec is fun. I think it's fun within reason. And I spec on a book if I think it's going to be something I like. So Batman is a spec. I hear there's a new character, but I bought it because I'm hopeful that King finishes strong. So I won't buy a book just for spec. But if there's a spec element on top of the reading element or the cover element or something I already like about it, then that's just a win-win. And so in that case, you know, I'm fine with it. So I did have a few books that you could argue were spec buys this week. You know, I'm not going to read Faithless, but I'm buying some of these and keeping them in the bag, and maybe someday I'll sell them. I enjoyed issue 1 well enough to be like, yeah, I'll continue to support that. Little Bird. I've enjoyed the book, but I'm buying 2, and that's a spec decision. You know, you could definitely say that's a spec decision. How about Descender? I purchased this issue 1 first print with a signature on it for $10 because I think it's a great read, and at some point, somebody's going to turn that into a really fun movie or TV series, and I want to have the first appearance. It's a great book. So, yeah, I think you do it right. I think it's great. I think if it becomes only about the hustle, that's when it's a problem. And I try to avoid that kind of thing if I can. So that's it for me. Thank you, DeeRunk, who gave me some awesome books. I linked his channel below. Thank you, Bar Oblivion. I hung out with him and his partner, and that was a lot of fun talking comics. We even shot a little video, and I linked their channel down below. Thank you for everybody who came by. Oh, Perry already sent me the Faithless cover. Enjoy that. So I'm going to have that go in with my Faithless books. I'm not going to open it. Thank you, Perry. I hope everybody has a great new comic book day. I'll see you out on the Comic Core Unlimited. I'll see you on Book Club. Hopefully you come by and hang out. That's going to be on the Comic Core channel and Alex's channel tonight. Thanks, everybody, and have a great night.